प्रधानमंत्री की सिंगापुर यात्रा से सेमीकंडक्टर के क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा मिलेगा, साथ ही भारत की तकनीकी क्षमताओं के विस्तार और दोनों देशों के बीच गहरे आर्थिक संबंधों को मजबूती मिलेगी। हमारे दूरदर्शन संवाददाता अक्षय डोंगरे ने सेमीकंडक्टर परीक्षण कंपनी AEM होल्डिंग्स के अध्यक्ष से खास बात की। ये वही कंपनी है जिसका प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने आज दौरा किया।
Prime Minister of India is visiting Singapore, and one of the key highlight of this visit is going to be technology of semiconductors. In fact, we are at the AEM Holdings, and we have the chairperson with us. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us. How do you see the future as far as the relation between the two countries are concerned, and the role that semiconductors can play?
Well, if you look at the Indian diaspora across the world, it's very clear to see that the leaders in semiconductors are there. How we can collaborate, obviously this change in a way that impacts Moore's Law and advanced packaging creates opportunity for both nations. Prime Minister Modi's visit here is very apt because that signals that symbiotic relationship where it starts with the business relationship, the investments, so all stakeholders have to benefit in these relationships.
So you are part of the semiconductor industry in Singapore. How is the industry looking at the India's push as far as the ambitions to become a manufacturing hub?
Well, it's absolutely the right push. There are two ways, and I call it two types of investments you got to make. One is the journey that Singapore took in terms of first getting into electronics manufacturing, assembly, making sure that the electronics demand is local in terms of its production, and then bringing the chips in from a logistics supply chain perspective. At the same time, building up the infrastructure for more advanced semiconductor manufacturing, which requires clean power, water, and then of course the ecosystem of chemical producers as well. So that will take time. Then there's the human capital development, right? So there has to be the technicians, the supervisors, the people who understand how to problem solve from a process improvement perspective and continuous improvement. That all needs to be built up in scale as well.
In the last few decades that we have seen, there have been only limited countries that have been seen as the manufacturing hubs or places of innovation as far as the semiconductor technology is concerned. Most of them located in Southeast Asia or in the region. But now new players are coming up. So how can the collaboration take place, especially when we talk about India? What kind of potential that you see in the Indian market as well as the Indian manufacturing industry?
Well, it's part of a new globalization, right? So you see a lot of high-end electronics, mobile companies moving to India. It's all public, right? They're shifting to India. So that shift is actually a very important end market because they are consumers of semiconductors.
Absolutely.
So the more electronics assembly and production that India has, the more it will have an end market for semiconductors.
Right.
So you got to think about that ecosystem because logistics also plays a part in it.
Chairman of AEM Holdings and talking to us about the semiconductor market that is its present and the future of collaboration that can take place between India and Singapore as far as the semiconductor industry is concerned. With camera person SP Dubey, Akshay Dongre, Lead India.